Good morning students. In the previous video we have learned the structure of alimentary canal, the mouth and the teeth. So in teeth we have seen diphyodont, thecodont and heterodont. So what do you mean by heterodont? There are different types of teeth in human beings are said to be heterodont, and they are incisors, canines, premolars and molars. And today in this video we are going to see the remaining part of alimentary canal. So the one is salivary gland. So salivary gland, they are nothing but the digestive glands, and the salivary gland, they secrete saliva. The salivary gland, they secrete saliva, and there are three pairs of salivary gland. They are parotid gland. There are three pairs of salivary gland. They are parotid gland, sublingual gland, and submaxillary gland. So what are the three types of salivary gland? They are parotid gland, sublingual gland and submaxillary gland. This parotid gland, they are the largest glands. The parotid gland, they are the largest gland, and it lies in the cheek just below the ear. So this parotid gland, they lie on either side of the cheek just below the ear. And the sublingual gland, they are the smallest gland. They are the smallest gland. They lie just beneath the tongue. Okay, they lie just beneath the tongue. And the submaxillary gland, they lie at the ankle of the jaw. Okay, they lie at the ankle of the jaw. So which is the largest salivary gland? Yes, parotid gland, which is the smallest sublingual gland. And the submaxillary gland, they lie on the ankle of the jaw. And we know the salivary gland, it secretes saliva. That is 1.5 liters of saliva is secreted per day. So 1.5 liters of saliva is secreted per day. And the saliva, it contains an enzyme. It contains an enzyme called ptyalin. It contains an enzyme called ptyalin, P silent. Okay, so ptyalin, which digests starch. And again the saliva, it contains an antibacterial enzyme. Antibacterial enzyme called lysozyme. Lysozyme, which prevents infection. So saliva, daily about 1.5 liters of saliva is secreted, and it contains an enzyme called ptyalin, which digests starch. And again it contains antibacterial enzyme called lysozyme, which prevents infection. And now coming to the next one, tongue. So tongue, it's a muscular organ. Tongue, it's a muscular organ. And what are the uses of tongue? Yes, it is used to identify the taste of the food, because in the tongue there are numerous taste buds. So with the help of the taste buds, we are coming to know the taste of the food. Then another function. What's another function? This tongue, it helps to mix the food with saliva, so that it is forming a bolus. The tongue, it helps to mix the food with saliva, that is called bolus. Now during swallowing, the epiglottis, epiglottis. So epiglottis means nothing but a flap-like structure. Okay, epiglottis means it's a flap-like structure. It closes the glottis. So glottis means the beginning of the trachea. Okay, so this epiglottis is a flap-like structure. It closes the glottis and it prevents the entry of food into the trachea. So our parents used to say that while we are eating we should not talk or laugh. Do you know the reason for that? When we are laughing or talking, the food particles, it may enter into the trachea and it causes choking or some other complications. In order to avoid that, our parents used to say we should not talk or laugh while we are eating. And the next one is pharynx. So pharynx, this pharynx, it acts as a common pathway for the entry of food from mouth to esophagus. So here there is pharynx. This pharynx, it acts as a pathway for the conduction of food from mouth to esophagus. And the next one is esophagus. So esophagus, it's also said to be food pipe. Here this area, it's a esophagus. It is said to be food pipe and is about 22 centimeter in length. And here also this esophagus, it conducts the food from pharynx to stomach by peristalsis. By means of peristalsis. So peristalsis means nothing but contraction and relaxation of the walls of the esophagus. So here so see here, this is the mouth, here buccal cavity, it leads into pharynx, pharynx leads into esophagus. Pharynx leads into esophagus. And here, when we are swallowing the food particles are here. The food particles, it enters into the esophagus by means of peristalsis. That is, the walls of the esophagus, it will be showing some contraction and relaxation. So that the food particles, it moves down and then it enters into the stomach. So here by means of contraction, rhythmic contraction and relaxation, the food particles, it enters into the stomach. The next one is stomach. So stomach, it is a J-shaped muscular organ. Gastric glands are present in the stomach and they secrete the gastric juice. Gastric glands are present in the stomach and they secrete the gastric juice. So here hydrochloric acid, mucus and enzymes are secreted. And this hydrochloric acid, they are secreted by oxyntic cells. Hydrochloric acid, they are secreted by oxyntic cells which kills the bacteria, when swallowed along with the food. So hydrochloric acid, they are secreted by oxyntic cells which kills the bacteria swallowed along with the food. At the same time, this mucus, it protects the inner wall of the stomach. This mucus, it protects the inner wall of the stomach. So in the stomach, the food is digested into a milky white substance called as chyme. In this chyme, it moves towards the small intestine. So again, coming to stomach, it is a J-shaped muscular organ, and here it contains the gastric glands which secrete the gastric juices. There are hydrochloric acid, mucus and enzymes like pepsin and renin. This hydrochloric acid, they are secreted by oxyntic cells which kills the bacteria swallowed along with food. And this mucus, it protects the inner walls of the stomach. So this mucus, it will be protecting the inner wall of the stomach. And in the stomach, there forms a milky white substance called as chyme. And this chyme, it will be slowly moving towards the small intestine. So the next one is small intestine. Small intestine. So small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal. It measures about 5 to 7 meters in length. So you see the small intestine, it measures about 5 to 7 meters and is highly coiled and is seen in the digestive system. So say 7 meters means it is up to the, that is when we are stretching the small intestine, it is up to the size of a kabaddi court. You know the length of the kabaddi court? So up to the size of the kabaddi court, the small intestine, it is highly coiled and is seen inside. And the small intestine, it is divided into 3 parts. They are duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So small intestine, it is divided into 3 parts. They are duodenum, jejunum and ileum. So duodenum, it is the C-shaped part. That is the stomach. It leads into small intestine. So here there is a C-shaped part. This is called duodenum. So here duodenum. And this duodenum, it receives pancreatic juice from the pancreas. So here this is the pancreas and this duodenum, it receives the pancreatic juice from the pancreas and it receives bile juice from the liver. Okay. So this is liver. This is pancreas. And this is duodenum. So duodenum, you see this is a C-shaped muscular tube and it receives the pancreatic juice from pancreas and bile juice from the liver. And the next part is jejunum. So jejunum, it is the middle part. It is a short muscular tube. So this is jejunum. It leads into a highly coiled tube-like structure called as ileum. So this is ileum. Ileum, and this ileum, it leads into large intestine and finally it opens out through anus. So this is anus, this is large intestine, and this is small intestine. So see, small intestine, it is about 5 to 7 meters in length. It is divided into duodenum, jejunum and ileum. So duodenum, it is a C-shaped muscular organ which receives pancreatic juice and bile juice. Then it leads into a short tube-like structure called as jejunum. It's the middle part, and it leads into a highly coiled structure called as ileum. And in this ileum, there are minute finger-like structures called as villi. So in the ileum, there are minute finger-like structures called as villi, which is helpful for absorption. So what are villi? They are finger-like structures which are helpful for absorption. And I hope you all have understood. For homework, you study the small intestine and the salivary glands.